So, Swamiji, you mentioned about our environment determines the thoughts, and when we're in any of the temple or any of the um, place where we go to worship or pray to God has completely different energy, and we think different thoughts. But generally, why do most of us think a lot of negative thoughts? Where does these thoughts come from in the first place?
Yes, Vijay. Our brain, the physiology is hardwired for negativity. It's
Hmm.
unfortunate, but that's the way it is. Now, consider a fish in the ocean. It has got positive stimuli in the environment, food for it to eat. And it has also got negative stimuli, the shark that is coming to eat it. So
Hmm.
the fish is facing these two kinds of things in its environment. Now, the positive, if it misses out, it's not so
Hmm.
serious, it will get more food. But if it misses out the negative, game is over. That
Hmm.
is why if you were to design a fish, you would also give it a negativity bias. The brain
Hmm.
should be focused on the negatives, primed for it. The same is for all the creatures in the world.
For the survival.
And that's right. So in our case, we are also having that physiology, even though in our case it is not life threatening. For example, let us say that one relative kind of hurt our ego in some way. So it is not a matter of life and death, but our brain and mind perceive that negative and they go on repeating it again and again and again. Like, for example, if the fennel seed, the soft, gets stuck in your tooth, then your tongue will keep on revisiting that. It has
Hmm.
got 32 places to go, but the tongue doesn't care. It is primed on the negative one. Well, likewise, we have this tendency that somebody praised you 10 times, but he gave one criticism. And our mind keeps on thinking about it. Why did he say that? Or let us say you did 10 right things and made one mistake. Now the mind is
Hmm.
thinking, oh my God, I made that one mistake. And we did 10 good things as well, right? So, a partial answer to your statement is the negativity bias. And beyond that, what happens is that when we repeat a thought pattern, our neurons they get wired in that manner, as the saying goes, that neurons that fire together, they wire together. So if we
Hmm.
have thought negative thoughts hundreds of times in a few days, then that pattern gets stuck in the mind. It becomes a mindset. And then
Hmm.
it becomes like a vicious trap that you keep falling into it more and more and more.
Hmm. That absolutely makes sense because the what I have realized is when you think some negative thoughts, or like you said, like, hey, this happened to me, your brain will start collecting evidence to prove the first thought that you had, and then you keep on going deeper and deeper into it. And the same goes with positive one as well.
That's right. So ultimately, we have to realize that it's an option that we have. That nobody is forcing us to think negative.
Mm.
So we don't like negative thoughts. And why is that? Every thought has a feeling attached to it. So
Mm.
when you think thoughts of envy or thoughts of worry, your own feeling tells you, I'm not liking this, right?
Mm.
So now the option is there with us. We replace the negative with the positive. If the
Mm.
mind is suggesting, I am a failure because I failed in that particular interview, now you question the belief. That is the
Mm.
basis of this thought. So the belief is, I failed once, I will always fail. Now you question that. I succeeded so many times, and if I failed once, I need to learn and I need to move ahead. So reframe the way we look at things. That
Mm.
option for reframing is always there. Like, for
Mm.
example, one nurse was relating her experience. She was in the army hospital and she was tending to two soldiers who had returned from the battlefield with their one leg blown off. So both
Mm.
had suffered similar injuries due to grenade explosions. Now, one of them was just complaining and complaining. So bad. The brigadier sent me in the wrong place, and my comrades did not protect me. And why did the government declare war in the first place? He had a string of complaints. His mind was so
Mm.
negative. And the other soldier in the same situation, he was saying, "Oh my God, I have been blessed today by God's protective hand. I could have lost my life. And somehow or the
Mm.
other, I just lost a leg. I am sure I must
Mm.
have done very bad karmas in the past." And he has let it go with a small wound. What is there? I'll get an artificial limb. So he is looking at the same thing with in positive light. Now, no matter
Mm.
what the situation, we always have that option. Like now,
Mm.
one person said, "I have to pay my taxes. How bad?" And then he
Mm.
reframes that, "I thank God I have taxes to pay because it means I have an income that I receive." I have to
Mm.
clean up after my friends. Party, but thank God that I have to clean up because it means I have friends who come to my house for a party, right?
Mm.
So
Yeah.
there's a saying in Hindi, दृष्टि बदलने से सृष्टि बदलती है. If you change
Beautiful.
the way you look at things, the things, their relevance for you changes. We need to
Mm.
learn how to positively reframe things.